As the Middle East conflict enters its fifth day, sirens sound in the Jerusalem area, some parts of central Israel and the West Bank, with the Israel Defense Forces saying it detected another set of missiles from Iran. The military has stated it is working to intercept the missiles while urging the public to remain in shelters until further notice. Take a look. Hello and welcome to NewsX Deep Dive. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Today we are delving deeper into the tensions that have gripped the region and refuse to abate. Over the past 24 hours, visuals coming out of the Middle East show how the strikes and counter-attacks continue to intensify. Take a look at these horrific visuals. An Iranian drives past Islamic regime positions in Tehran, hit by the airstrikes. The US-Israeli operation also expands to Iran's internal security architecture, striking Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Basij internal security, police, intelligence and special forces sites long used to suppress protests. Take a look. Then here, thick smoke covers the west of Tehran after a large fire broke out following airstrikes by the US and Israel. Smoke covers the skies and is visible from kilometers away. Iranian officials say a metro station was hit and some civilian infrastructure was damaged. Let's take a look. The headquarters of the Iranian proxy group PMF was also hit in the town of Al-Qaim in Iraq. The headquarters sits on the border with Syria. Take a look. In another video, Iranians laugh as they watch the most intense airstrikes yet against regime targets in Tehran as IRGC and Basij militia members get a visit from B-2 bombers. Iranians can be seen celebrating. But Iran wasn't going to stay far behind. Late last night, the US consulate in Dubai was hit by a drone strike. The incident followed similar attacks on US diplomatic missions in Kuwait and Riyadh earlier this week. Authorities cordoned off the area and issued safety advisories to the public, urging them not to approach or interact with any debris from the incident. Have a look.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. سرنگونی یک فروند جنگنده صهیونیستی امریکایی.
Now here's a visual that led to conflicting claims emerging over the skies of Iran. After a jet was seen falling from the skies, Iran claims it had shot down another American fighter jet in the northern part of Tehran. Sometime later, Israeli media asserted it was an Iranian jet that was shot down over Iran's capital. As this conflict has consistently shown, it will not be confined within the borders of Iran or Israel. Instead, it continues to spill over into the neighboring Gulf regions. Saudi Arabia's key oil export hub at Ras Tanura, operated by Saudi Aramco, has been struck again by an unidentified projectile, raising concerns about not just the ever-expanding conflict, but also concerns over the security of global energy supplies amidst the regional tensions. Not just the Gulf, the conflict has also now reached the coast of Sri Lanka. Iranian naval ship IRIS Dena sounded a distress call after its crew reported an explosion off its coast, necessitating Sri Lankan Air Force and Navy to send ships and aircraft for a rescue operation. Sri Lanka's Navy rescued 32 sailors from the 180 CRA frigate, but hopes fade for 148 other sailors. Reports suggest that the situation resulted from a submarine attack. In this visual here, Israeli airstrike reduced an entire building to rubble in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. Israeli attacks pounded the southern suburbs of Beirut, leaving massive destruction in their wake. Loud blasts rang throughout Beirut as Israel renewed its assault with at least 2 airstrikes in Beirut's Haret Reik area. Thick plumes of smoke could be seen rising throughout the city. And so over the past 24 hours, the visuals from the intensifying US-Israel-Iran conflict have painted a stark picture of escalation. From explosions and strikes across Tehran and other Iranian cities to retaliatory missiles and drones fired at Israel and US interests in the Gulf, with air defense systems lighting up skies amid sirens and interceptions. These images, juxtaposed with scenes of regional fallout in Lebanon, the Gulf and beyond, underscore the broader Middle Eastern crisis, with mounting civilian and military casualties and global economic repercussions. Major General Gigi Dwivedi, geopolitical analyst, is joining us live on the broadcast. Major General Dwivedi, the conflict, of course, continues in Iran and, of course, in other parts of the Middle East as well. How do you react to the past 24 hours, how the conflict has grown, and the visuals as well, coming in of these latest strikes and claims versus counter-claims on jets down? What do you make of the way the conflict is headed?
Well, Uday, thank you very much to have me on your show. Rightly so, you have shown the visuals and they indicate a couple of trends. First and foremost is the fifth day of the war, and the war is escalating, and both sides are countering each other. But as far as Israelis and the Americans are concerned, they are keeping to the aim of defanging, that is destroying the military potential of Iran, both in terms of ballistic missile capability, even the naval capability, and they are now going for the whichever target they can spot, because initially precision strike had the pre-designated target. Now these targets are they are engaging are the ones which are emerging as and when the battle is progressing. But the conflict has expanded far beyond the geographic boundaries of Iran. It is well engulfed larger part of the Gulf and the Middle East region, and also, as was expected, that the Hezbollah would come into play. After all, they are the proxies of Iran, and this is the time they like to show their solidarity with their Iranian regime. So the point is that as you can make out, that the conflict has intensified, it has expanded, and likelihood is that it's going to continue or even take further intense shape in time to come. But 2 points are very, very important. First and foremost is Iranian, they have changed their tactics. Now they are operating in small teams, offering not bigger targets. So this will be very difficult because to engage the small target, because they are now more or less operating in decentralized mode. And the second very important issue is how Iranians are targeting the civilian infrastructure, the embassies, the other commercial centers. So therefore, in nutshell, I can say that as we go few days more into the conflict, this pattern is going to continue, but there's going to no let up. I don't think any diplomatic initiative is going to play out until Americans are concerned that they have effectively degraded the potential of the Iranians, and on the other hand, Iran will ensure that the conflict keep expanding and keep prolonged, so that the Americans and Israelis' calculation that it will be short and swift turns into a slightly prolonged war. But more importantly, these proxies, or what I would call it low intensity hybrid warfare, is likely to further intensify. I am expecting the Houthis and also the Hamas to chip in along with the Hezbollah. Uday.
Yes, Major Dwivedi, also, we have seen how Donald Trump has spoken out as well in the last 24 hours on this continued strikes that are being mounted on Iran and their leadership and their future line of leadership as well. Amidst all of this, of course, we have Iran, who have announced the succession to Khamenei already. Do we see an end game in this conflict? Or are the goalposts shifting on the actual objective of this war?
No, actually, Uday, in the war, the goalpost really do not shift, but the objectives, there is a flexibility and the way you are approaching to fulfill the objectives. I think the American objectives still remain the same, that is the degradation and destruction of the Iranian defense potential. They are continuing with these strikes. Also, they had stated that they like to decapitate the Iranian leadership. So whether the new leadership comes up, that that objective still remains. And for the Iranians, they have to prove that they are putting up a good fight. They may be putting up, a losing battle, but they want to show to the world that they are standing up to the massive assault of Americans and Israelis, and they are not going to give in or give way to the cohesion. So this is how the two sides are pitched. But nonetheless, the tactics and the strategies keep changing as the war progresses, because the wars are unpredictable and the situation also coming up are unpredictable. But as I say, there is a chance that this war, which is now more or less conventional, could degenerate into the hybrid warfare, where the proxies may begin to exert more on the battlefield. Uday.
All right, Major General Dwivedi, appreciate you joining us with your perspective on that segment.